Next panel has a wonderful group of gentlemen for innovation and the future of sports. Joining us now, Bart Princeton, the head of FIBA Equipment and Venue Center, Charles Fremont, UEFA's Innovation Manager, Andreas, Heyder, the Executive Vice President of Digital Innovations for the DFL Group, and Miguel Angel Leal, CEO of La Liga Tech. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us today, and I will have you all discuss a little bit more about your careers here and a further introduction. Bart, if you want to start yourself off.
Yeah, thank you so much for this quick introduction. I will keep it short. I joined FIBA in 2020 as head of the Equipment and Venue Center after having worked in the sports equipment industry for more than 10 years. At FIBA, we run a program that is called the Equipment and Venue Center, which is the approval program for basketball equipment. I will tell a little bit more about it during the session and what we do, what we aim for, and I'm happy to give the word to the other panel members before I take too much of this valuable time. Thank you.
Thank you, Bart. Charles?
Yeah, hi Josh, hi everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. It's actually my third time participating in a Sports Tech Nation Summit panel. Always a great opportunity. My first time with the UEFA hat on. I joined UEFA just this past summer as the manager of the Innovation Hub. Before that, I was managing a startup incubator specialized in sports technologies in Paris for 4 years called Le Tremplin. And I have a legal background. So many people say that law leads to anything. I didn't think it would lead me to sports tech, but it did. And I love everything related to change, technologies, innovation related to sports. So happy to discuss this afternoon.
My parents always told me those law degrees would be useful, but alas, never did sign up for law school. So Andreas, would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Andreas Heyder. I've been working in digital media since the mid-90s. I joined roughly 6.5 years ago the league, and I'm a CEO of the digital media powerhouse. So we're producing all webs and ads and TV program, etc. And since 2 years, I'm driving as a member of the executive board of the league, digital innovation, managing our partnership with AWS, driving eFootball with the virtual Bundesliga, and yeah, try to innovate as much as we can.
Wonderful. And Miguel, a warm welcome to you as well.
Yes, thanks a lot for inviting me to participate here. I joined the La Liga Tech 4 months ago, more or less. I'm a telecommunications engineer, and I've been working more than 25 years in the B2B environment, leading many digital transformation projects, but never in this specific vertical of sports and entertainment. No? When the headhunter called me and she started asking me questions about, okay, it's going to be a B2B project related to technology, but when she asked me about the vertical, I was not possible for me to identify which one, because it was very surprising, and I'm really excited because, in this case, I'm having the opportunity to mix what I love from my professional life with something that I love, which is sports. No? I'm very, very excited. I think that La Liga is offering to the market an amazing experience that they developed in the last 7 years, and very, very excited to be here.
Outstanding. Miguel, I do want to start with you, with the supports of one of the biggest leagues in the world. Which areas of the sport organization do you think will benefit most from La Liga Tech?
Yes, I will share with you the story behind La Liga Tech, because I joined, as I mentioned, 3 months ago, but officially La Liga Tech started as a company 1st of July this year, no? But it's not a new company. La Liga Tech started with an internal project of La Liga more than 7 years ago, when La Liga started asking itself how they could use technology to build a more competitive and powerful competition. No? For this, they ask different questions about different areas. No? The first one was related to the content, how using the technology, La Liga could first protect the asset of the content. No? And as a consequence of that, we have a business line which is related to the content and brand protection. No? Second was related with the question about how using the technology, La Liga could improve the experience when the fans are consuming this content, no? And this is a new business line which is called content enhancement, and we have products like Media Coach that are very related to give more a better experience when people is watching the match, no? There is another line which is what we call competition management, in which we have different solutions that are designed to improve the workflow of the competition itself, no? Solutions like, for example, calendar selectors. It sounds something easy to do, but it's not too easy to decide how you schedule all the matches every week, take into account that you have an audience worldwide, no? And you have to combine the best schedule, take into account the people going to the stadium, people in Spain, but people in all the countries worldwide in which they are willing to watch the matches, no? And even take into account something strange, like which is the position of the sun in all the places in which we are going to have the different matches, no? And this is something which is very related to the workflow of the competition itself. And there is a third part, which is for me the most important, which is related to the fan engagement, no? For this, we have many different approaches. We have, like other colleagues, our own OTT. We have all the experience related to the gaming with fantasy. We have typical web apps. And this is what we call fan engagement, which is one of the parts. But there is something in common, which is that all of them are producing data, no? And for me, the core of the value is related to the ecosystem that we build, in which we integrate all the data coming from different sources, and then we build a data-driven strategy. And this is something that all our potential customers must take into account, how they must move and to become data-driven organizations, like we find in other verticals, in which is more common right now, no? in banks or in insurance companies or in utilities. And for me, these are the three areas: the competition, the content enhancement and how to protect the content, the fan engagement, and all the data-driven strategy that you can use to improve at the end the quality of your competition. This is more or less the summary about all that we can offer. Okay.
A wonderful overview of La Liga Tech. Thank you, Miguel. Bart, what is your approach to innovation at FIBA, and what areas are your organization currently working on?
Yeah, so to go back to the Equipment and Venue Center, which was formerly called the Study Center at FIBA, and it is because it is the program that combines all what we need to play our game, and to make the field of play also a basketball court, both on the top end, but also on grassroots level. So our approach to innovation is a combination of hardware and software and technology that is related to that. But to start with the first, and that's a very essential one for us. We're having this program where we approve equipment for use in FIBA competitions, and this is a program that was launched 25 years ago, and it was very forward-thinking at that time, and it has until today a very strong recognition in the market, where we approve basketballs, backstops, flooring, light systems also in stadiums. And this is an innovation itself. All these industries and all these suppliers that we have in this category are innovative in their own product range or in their own tier. And it is our role also to give direction to our partners, what we want to deliver, where do we want the industry to go, and what do we expect from them, and what can we then also give in return using competitions in this case. So we differentiate in hardware, and since 2020 we also opened up a category for more advanced technology. We call it software, but it combines automated video, it combines systems for referees to be able to check, it combines media, coaching, and scouting software. And we have defined criteria that align with what FIBA stands for and the quality level that we would like to offer. And ultimately, I think that hardware and these software or high-tech solutions combined together, and that we also aggregate data that is coming from hardware into our software, into our cloud also, where we have certain algorithms, maybe developed by us, maybe developed by others, that enhance the experience for coaches, enhance the experience for players, for media, for people in the stadium, but also people watching at home. So our approach is one that combines the different elements that are used on a basketball court and outside on training grounds, for example. And we try to do this for indoor basketball. So in stadiums, since the Olympics in Tokyo, and I hope you have all seen it, we have also 3x3 format basketball, which is a very fast and different concept format of basketball played outside. So innovation for us is also innovation of courts that are resistant against use outside, for example, or canopy systems that make it possible to play events outside even when it's raining, or a ball that has a different weight, volume setup. So we see innovation more like a full circle from our traditional products, and we approach it also from a product approval standpoint here at FIBA. At least the innovations that me and my team are working on, and we're very proud to have about 100 partners at the moment in the program that all develop new products and that work together with us. And well, in that perspective, I see the next year is a lot of good things happening together with this industry. So yeah, our approach is from this angle.
Wonderful. Thank you, Bart. Andreas, like so many other leagues, you're also pushing tech big time, both implementing and investing. What are some of the main new trends that you are seeing coming from the tech market to the sport?
So when we take a look at innovation, we don't look at innovation as a reason for itself to do something. It all has to derive from a very defined strategy. We call it the glass-to-glass strategy. Our business model starts with the camera lens in the stadium and ends with the TV set or the glass of the iPhone. So in this value chain, there are, I always use the example of a kitchen. You have to build the kitchen. So you have to build a system where you get the ingredients. For us, the ingredients are data, our video, our text, our audio. You have to have the people who can cook, which is for us the company that I'm working for digital sports. And then the end, you have to deliver innovation to the end customer and to the fan. And any innovation, you have to work backwards from a customer insight. The similarity on many customer insights that we're having, we can boil down to 3 core technologies. We call it the golden triangle of AI, AR, and 5G. Why is so? On the one hand side, 5G, or in 10 years 6G, and in 10 years 7G, are the fundamental groundwork of having connectivity. And connectivity gets faster over time, but also it gets more intelligent on time. For us, producing broadcast signal of 5G is now possible through network slicing. We see higher connectivity, lower latency. We see more people connected in the stadium, enabling from games to entertainment to 5G replay. Secondly, AI. For us, the average football fan in the Bundesliga follows 4 clubs. We got 36 clubs in the league, which equals 58,000 individual taste profiles. There is no way an editor can do that by him or herself. So you need the power of AI for hyper-personalized entertainment, for personalized push notification, for new experiences, direct-to-consumer experiences that were not able to be done before. And then AR, we truly believe that the future is going to be augmentized. So there will be additional layers of information enriching your experience, enriching your way how you're going to see the game in the stadium, but also at home. Already 2015, we showcased our 5G in-stadium experience. A fundamental base layer underneath is rights protection, anti-piracy. We have a company called Rights, where we work for the NBA, we work for ATP, for the French Tennis Federation, for Roland Garros, Asian Football Confederation. These are some of our clubs that we do the anti-piracy for, and this makes us proud because we believe with either buying services from the best companies in the world, partnering with the best companies in the world like AWS, or working for the best clients like NBA. This is something that makes us proud and drives innovation for us.
Excellent. Thank you, Andreas. Charles, a big part of the innovation hubs are the involvement with local and global community, and the UEFA Innovation Hub recently launched some challenges. If you can speak to those and some of the topics and the importance of doing so.
Yeah, for sure. So yes, the UEFA Innovation Hub is part of the Football Innovation Platform that we co-created together with many partners. The current partners as part of the platform are the City Football Group, KNVB, the Johan Cruyff Arena, as well as Ajax Amsterdam. And the idea is really to work together with some of the members of our ecosystems and some of our stakeholders at UEFA to tackle together and mutualize resources on some innovation challenges that we all face. And so with the platform, we're launching 3 startup challenges in the current season. Our current challenge is actually closing on December 14th, in a week from now. It has the main topic of sustainability. So we're most specifically looking for innovative solutions that enable us to diminish the carbon footprint of our events, most specifically targeting green mobility. So how can we use, some tons of ideas, and we're very open to receive tons of new and bold ideas to incentivize our fans to use green mobility to travel to the stadium, or to incentivize, just grassroots players, the parents and everyone involved in grassroots football to travel in a more green way to practice, to matches and everything. So that's the first aspect. And the second one is really through waste management. How can we diminish the carbon footprint? So we're looking at solutions, or to get solutions that we're not necessarily familiar with up front as a sport organization, because these questions are new for us. They're at the core of our strategy at UEFA, as well as the strategy of many of the other partners of the Football Innovation Platform. So this is something new, and we're already quite happy with the variety of solutions that we're getting. So that's the first challenge on sustainability. Then in January, we'll launch a new challenge on fan experience, and later in the season will be one on performance and grassroots participation. And so it's really, and it really goes along the spirit and the mindset that we're bringing at the UEFA Innovation Hub, is how can we partner with similar organizations within the European football ecosystem to tackle common innovation challenges together.
Wonderful. Thank you, Charles. This next question is for all of our panelists, so just a brief response, if you may. We'll start with Miguel. With today's global audience and more connected fans than ever, of course, that means organizations have more data than ever. How can they use this to maximize their brand and their business going forward?
Well, I think that this is the key, and I think that if I compare La Liga with other companies I've been working for in the last years, I'm really impressed. I think that La Liga is a full data-driven company, and this is what we want to share with the rest of the industry. First, because they started with this strategy many years ago, and second, because there are so many fans worldwide that is key to understand how to manage these tons of information and of data. And for this, what do we use? First is to have a single view of any of these fans. when we share time with other competitions, we identify that they have many different digital assets or digital channels. They have web apps, they have gaming, like equivalent to the fantasy or fantasy. They have OTTs, but at the end, they share with us that they have a lot of data, but they are not able to move this data from the information to take right decisions. No? And for this, what we share with them is first, you need to have a clear data strategy. No? And for this, first you need to identify your fan, no matter if this fan at that time is on the OTT or is on the web of one of our clubs or is with a fantasy. Then for this, you need to have a single sign-on strategy. You need to build an ecosystem in which you put all this data. And for this, what we suggest is to start what we call a strategy that internally we call the fan 360 degrees. With this approach, what we start is trying to identify who are our customers, our fans. Second, to understand what is the behavior of these fans. And finally, to start what we call the fan activation, which is how to move this fan from one stage to another one, starting for an initial stage in which we only know that they are in one of our digital assets, but they are not even doing putting the login and the password, and then you need to move from all the different stages, trying to give them what they are expecting at any time. You know that you need to identify if you have one fan which is with what is the age, if there is located in one or another geography, what are the clubs that they are following, because depending on this, you need to offer, for example, the content in a different way. You know, it's not the same if you are following Barcelona and then you need to see the full match, or only you want to see a summary. The way to consume the content is different. You have 18 or you have 60 years old. No, then for us, it's very clear that first you need to have a clear strategy. You need to identify your fan moving in any of the different digital assets that you have as a competition or as a club, and then you need to build the full picture with this concept that we call the fan 360 degrees, and you need to have a clear strategy moving from this early stage to the heavy user that at the end you want to move this fan from the early stage to the heavy user of your product, which is your content. This is more
thank you, Miguel.
Strategy. Yeah.
Wonderful. Bart, have you answered the same question?
Yeah, for us, we try to offer the traditional data layer that we have, like traditional scoring and timestamp, through all kinds of ways of distributing this. But we, of course, want to develop a basketball experience that adds much more to that, so that we can have our fans more connected, and that they can also more participate in all kinds of things. So we are at the moment also bringing, for example, a format that we have in the 3x3 competition to one of our suppliers has implemented in his product to play like on the competition of 3x3. So we really try to bring more and closer the experience of basketball to all our fans and all the people who play in the FIBA family, I would say. We want to develop also more data from our traditional game. We collaborate on several layers with very renowned partners. We want to discover more of our game, extract more data from the players, from what they see, how they experience the game, and bring this to systems and to algorithms that can help us also to bring that experience to our different stakeholders, actually, in the stadium, people at home, people who are looking at it from a professional coaching or scouting way. And recently we have also started to discover, which was new for me, we have been in discussions on the medical side, so that the data that we collect and with very innovative partners can in the future possibly also support coaches and club owners to detect medical issues or upcoming medical issues with players, which could then be very beneficial for people who are under a contract. This is really, really new for me, and super exciting to work on this. It brings new perspectives also, which makes it also very, very interesting for people here in the office to discuss about this and to discuss about it with coaches. All of a sudden, we are speaking with completely new stakeholders in our game who are open to learn from us, and we are open to learn from them. And the example that I gave on the medical part, I'm not sure how this will work out in the future. I'm not sure if we can make that happen on the short term, but at least we are trying to collect knowledge and to collect new experience that can be beneficial for certain target groups or customer groups that do not have this information yet. So yeah, the new innovations that our suppliers and our partners offer, if it's detection where the ball hits the ring or where it goes exactly in the ring, that this relates back to somebody's shooting technology, or data that comes from video analysis of a player possibly getting injured, that's a whole different way of looking at basketball sport.
Wonderful.
And yeah, this makes it very interesting.
Thank you, Bart. Appreciate that. Andreas, I'll go to you next.
Yeah, just a quick one. I think La Liga has a quite similar approach when it comes to customer engagement and personalization. This all points into the right direction. I would focus shortly on the sports tech part. For us, we track 25 times per second the ball and the player and the referees, everybody who's on the pitch, which creates something like 3.5 million or 3.4 million data points per game, plus additional strategic data that we are gathering. Based on this data, we create various outputs. On the one hand side, we sell the data. Data is for us a business. Our company, Sports Tech Solutions, which is a joint venture together with Delta Tray, we have various clients outside the DFL who buy the content from us and who buy aggregated and higher level content. Secondly, we use data to enhance the fan experience on broadcasting. Together with AWS, Amazon Web Services, we create the Bundesliga Match Facts, which are artificially intelligence generated insight into the game that would not have been possible without cloud services. Like seconds after a goal has been shot, we're showing the goal probability. We have insights into the game, which help the commentators to drive to create a better broadcasting product. And I fully agree with Bart, servicing the clubs and helping them scout better, do injury prevention, learn to better prepare for the upcoming opponent. Having this kind of data is vital. So these three layers of earning money, making a better customer experience, and helping our clubs, that's our data strategy.
So many incredible uses to this data. Charles, how is it being used for the UEFA Innovation Hub and to grow the brand?
So I guess our positioning is a bit more different at UEFA. So the data management is not managed by the Innovation Hub. We have a unit that is actually in the same department as the Innovation Hub, which is called the Intelligence Center, because of course, as European football's governing body, we accumulate tons of data from our national associations, from the clubs, from the leagues. And so we publish every year a benchmarking report on the state of European football. So the upcoming edition will be published just in the new year. And it allows us to have an overview of, the current state, the fluctuations in the revenue sources of our clubs, of our leagues, and of our national associations, just to name a few, in terms of grassroots participation and all of that. But I guess your question is more related on how data is used for innovation. Innovation and any innovation initiative starts with observation. So of course, the data allows us to have an amazing view on on our fans, on the consumers of our events. So we have also a separate team, a CRM team, who kind of manages and builds all of our customer and our fan journeys. So they're already quite well efficient with them. We have direct contact with them to see how can we bring in some technologies that can just enhance that based on the expectations that we feel they have based on the data that we gather.
And Charles, as a follow-up, I'll stick with you in relation to all the associations under UEFA. What's the Innovation Hub's role with providing them with technology, and how do you support them?
I guess, UEFA, as the governing body of European football, once again, our main mission is to grow the sport and develop the sport through all of our 55 national associations. So, our main stakeholders are our national associations. They expect some services and some resources from us. So I don't think, right now, the work that we do at the Innovation Hub with our national associations are not necessarily technology focused as of just yet, but we're working with our colleagues from UEFA Grow, which is the department that really services our national associations, to develop an innovation framework that enables all of our national associations to structure innovation in an individualized way based on their resources, their ambition, and really their context. So this is one of the first projects that we're working on at the moment that's really dedicated to national associations. And then from that, when most of our 55 NAs already have this framework in place, then it's going to be easier to discuss how we can work with technology with them.
Thank you, Charles. We have time for one more topic that we'd like to hit for all of the panelists again. Miguel, we'll begin with you. Obviously, we know all of you have such a breadth of knowledge when it comes to technology and how it impacts winning on the field, off the field. How do you see technology developing in the coming years, though? And is there any other focus that your organization is planning to adopt?
No, I think that we all cover all the different topics that cover all the digital transformation of this vertical of sports and entertainment. No? I love what Andreas mentioned, because I think that we complement maybe I talk more about fan engagement, Andreas talk about all the content enhancement and all the data that we both are able to produce for any match. But at the end, I think that we will continue developing technology around fan engagement, competition management, and content enhancement, no? And with the data in the center. Maybe the difference is that we will try to find more and more interactivity with looking for the one-to-one interaction with the fans in order to personalize the experience. And I think that there is another point, which is that the technology has to be able to give our customers the ability to monetize. Because at the end, we cannot forget that behind everything, this is a business, and then we need to be able to maximize the value and the exchange of value between the properties, the competition, the clubs, and the fans. No, then this is more or less my picture. Thank you.
Thank you. How about at FIBA, Bart?
Yeah, I would like to approach his answer maybe a little bit different. I think it's more responsibility that we have as well. I see coming from the industry and also looking at the industry, we need to give, as a governing body, direction of what we want to deliver in the future. And our partners, technology partners, hardware, software, traditional, new, innovative, they invest in creating new services, creating new products. And of course, they will do that on their own, but I think it's our role for the future to define how do we want to experience that basketball, and what do we see as kind of opportunities for them also to deliver something and to innovate something that can offer them a return on investment. I think that is something we should also, as a federation, definitely not forget. And then the second thing is that the investors who buy this equipment, who buy new stadiums, who equip new courts, field of plays, how do they look at investing in technology? Because the federation is not always the governing body who also invests in this innovation if it comes to a club or it comes to a club competition. So our responsibility, I think, is to define clear experiences that we want to deliver, and it can be fan, media, coaching, scouting, grassroots, or medical, you name it, and then give direction and also use it in our own competitions, our own World Cups, our qualifying windows, so that it gets to the market. But I think, without going into detail what that would be, because in basketball there are several directions that can probably take hours, and there are also things that we really, as FIBA, need to develop a good thinking about. But in my opinion, so what my role, or how I see my role, is to define those future anchor points, sit together with the industry who develops it, sit together with investors who invest in it, and then come to and then keep very consistent with those in the coming years.
Thank you, Bart. Andreas?
As I touched before, I think it's always of the application of technology on innovation and not the technology itself. So anything that could create value has to come up from a customer insights, either a fan or a media company. I would love to add to the discussion the point of collaboration and partnering. So for us, we're doing in May next year the Sports Innovation Trade Fair, where I invite all leagues, all broadcasts, all vendors in the world to exhibit their technology based on real life games being played in the stadium. And I think this shows our way of thinking. This is what I really liked also about what Charles was describing, this open innovation approach to share knowledge, to invite others and learn together. And especially, I think we bigger leagues have a responsibility to share our experience and our knowledge, and not just to earn money with leagues, but also to share with leagues, because in many cases, what I've experienced is going into discussions like innovation hubs, like trade fairs, the bigger leagues often have limitations. You know, often you hear something that's not possible because when you are a smaller league, there are often other ways to do it, and we can learn from it. And our program, for example, DFL for Equity, where we invest into startups, we work with smaller companies. We really like the exchange. We really love how the pieces come together if you build a network.
And we'll wrap up with Charles.
Yeah, well, you know, I think the priority for us in 2022, as Andreas just mentioned, is continuing to enrich this ecosystem and to really foster this open innovation link with all of our stakeholders. And, you know, I guess, you know, the Football Innovation Platform initiative is exactly going into that direction. And just to, you know, follow up on what I mentioned about our Sustainability Startup Challenge at the moment, you know, on Thursday this week, there's the UEFA Executive Committee. I encourage you to just see the news, because we're going to have a big announcement that also is, you know, and that kind of leads to our focus more and more to focus innovation when it comes to responsibility and sustainability. And this is a message that UEFA wants to push even more forward and to really encourage all of our ecosystem to consider in the near future.
Gentlemen, this was a fabulous panel. Thank you so much for joining Sports Tech Nation 2021. Again, Bart, Charles, Andreas, and Miguel, appreciate your time.
Thanks for
having us.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.